We're here today to announce that we have discovered the real cause of CWD and that we have a cure for field application in 12 to 18 months. As Phil stated, chronic wasting disease, or CWD, was first identified in Pennsylvania in 2012. Since then, it has continued to spread within the state and now is on the edge of the Pennsylvania elk range. Both deer and elk are vulnerable in Pennsylvania, and long-term studies in other states, as well as my own wildlife disease research with elk, indicate that if there is not a dramatic change to our current CWD disease management approach, that we will face the effective extinction of deer and elk in Pennsylvania for generations, likely for a century. For those of you who have visited our spectacular Elk Country Visitor Center, it may soon stand empty. The tradition of sport hunting, as we have known it, will end, placing at risk our Second Amendment. The impacts to outdoor recreation and tourism and to the outdoor industry will be staggering. Economic impacts across the state and within rural communities will be measured in the tens of billions of dollars, and across America in the trillions of dollars. This is where we're headed without a breakthrough. Once infected, a deer can appear healthy in an incubation period for a year or more, with no visible signs of illness. In late stages, symptoms from brain lesions quickly manifest into aimless wandering, falling, drooping ears, and excessive salivating. Death soon follows. To date, the mainstream theory is that the disease is caused by a malformed protein called a prion. However, after decades of searching, no cure has been found for this supposedly prion-caused disease. That is, until now. Dr. Frank Bastian in his lab at Louisiana State University has discovered that CWD is actually caused by a previously unknown bacteria called Spiroplasma, and that prions are simply a byproduct of the bacterial infection. Let me repeat. CWD is not caused by a prion. It is caused by a previously undiscovered species of bacteria called Spiroplasma. Because prion is always present in infected animals, it was erroneously assumed that prions were the cause of the disease. This breakthrough discovery is a game changer in that it's now possible to develop a vaccine, an antibiotic, to prevent and cure CWD. It's to be done like Jonas Salk's vaccine cured polio. Dr. Bastian has developed a three-step approach to stop the disease. First, within possibly a year, he will develop a diagnostic hunter test kit that will permit hunters to who have immediately harvested their deer, they'll be able to test it for infection in the field at the point of harvest. Considering that the incubation period of the disease in deer is very long, at 12 to 18 months, such a test kit is vital in determining whether your deer is disease-free and safe for human consumption. Your deer could appear completely healthy, but still be infected. Now you will immediately know if it's infected. By the end of the second year, Dr. Bastian plans to develop an injectable vaccine that's primarily for captive deer and elk, representing possibly the only way to prevent the collapse of the deer farming industry. In the third year, he will design an oral or nasal vaccine to be administered to wild deer and elk. With Dr. Bastian's discovery and ongoing research, we now are set on a path to end this disease and pending nightmare in Pennsylvania, across America, and throughout the world. Let me share with you the significance of this breakthrough discovery and what would happen if we were to continue on our current path without Dr. Bastian's discovery, without the field application of his vaccines, and without his continuing research. The ongoing threat to deer and elk in Pennsylvania is a catastrophe in the making, and we risk the loss of deer, elk, and moose throughout North America if CWD is not immediately addressed with real remedial measures. The resulting impacts to natural ecosystems and our environment from the removal of our dominant herbivores is unimaginable. As catastrophic as are these CWD impacts, things will get worse, much worse. Dr. Bastian has discovered this CWD bacterium in domestic sheep, goats, and cattle. That's mad cow disease. And CWD-related diseases have appeared in other wild animals, including mink, camels, and big cats, placing lions and tigers in the crosshairs. This is not likely the end of the list of animals that are at risk, and if not now contained, the bacterium could spell disaster to worldwide natural ecosystems. Now let's throw gasoline on the fire. Humans may be at risk. Scientists have found that some species of monkeys, our close primate relatives, are susceptible to CWD. Dr. Bastian has discovered this bacterium in association with similar neurological diseases in humans, especially Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, CJD, and he believes there is a linkage with Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's, and ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. Once CWD has been fully addressed, Dr. Bastian's research will extend into the area of human health, and his discoveries will open the door toward pursuing cures for these and possibly other neurodegenerative human diseases. Let me make a point here. Dr. Bastian has been able to isolate this disease from human-infected patients with CJD, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. He has isolated it from sheep, Scrapie's disease. He has isolated the bacterium from CWD-infected deer. He can grow them in culture in a lab. It's the same Spiroplasma bacteria, and he has cross-infected sheep and deer with that lab-grown bacterium. In addition, 15% of Alzheimer's patients, according to a study, have been misdiagnosed. They have CJD. That means within a few years of his research, it may be possible to cure 15% of Alzheimer's patients worldwide with something as simple as an antibiotic vaccine. I have been asked at the top levels of government for a 10-year plan from Dr. Bastian. Here's a summary of the plan. We will be able to protect humans from potential lethal effects of CWD in 12 to 18 months. That's the Hunter test kit. We will be able to implement vaccines toward eradicating CWD in 2 to 3 years. We will test a cure for scrapie in sheep, mad cow disease, and TSEs in wildlife in 5 years. We will develop and test the cure for human Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, CJD, in 5 to 6 years. We will test the cures for human ALS, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's diseases in 6 to 7 years, and we will implement antibiotic and/or bacteriophage cures for human TSEs in 8 to 10 years. Dr. Bastian's discovery is historic and may well represent one of America's most important conservation and human health achievements. He's going to win a Nobel Prize with this.